Amazing to meet you here today. I'd like to present a stock to you that I think you should total buy. The stock is Lexmark Company, ticker LXK. Yeah, I know you're thinking that it's the print services company, but it's actually heading a new direction. Direction is expanding its perceptive software segment. It's making some great acquisitions in that segment. I'd love to tell you more about them. But let me give you a little information about Lexmark first. It's got a market cap of $1.93 billion, currently trading at $31. I did conduct a DC evaluation for it, and it shows 54% upside. That's huge. That is huge. Right now, though, I want to tell you about its CEO, Paul Rook, University of Michigan grad. You might know him, sir. He is the one that's taking this company in the perceptive software direction. Pretty cool stuff. He's been with the company since 1991. Totally worth it. The other thing I want to say is to talk about its acquisitions. The company has made some great acquisitions like Brainware, which takes accounts receivable statements. You know what accounts receivable are, right? Of course, you're CEO. Of course, you know what accounts receivable are. Takes the accounts receivable, puts it into Excel, bang, just like that for you. That just battles against human input error. That's a lot of that. So it makes your company more efficient. I know, you're thinking you want some of that. So do I. Then they did knowledge, and that's more of like the educational segment where it takes the student ID numbers, combines the student grades, all that, does all that, no human error, and again. So there's two amazing companies that acquired. Another one that's really awesome that I think is Aquo Technologies. They do the same thing but for hospitals. Think about being a doctor and walking into the patient, being able to pull up his medical files. Right there, his images and all that. Dude, total buy, sir. They have two new companies that they acquired, pretty big companies, but new acquisitions, AccessVia and Twistage. AccessVia makes signs, and they have some huge customers. They have 60,000 stores worldwide right now, including Best Buy stores, Safeway stores, Office Depot. It's pretty sweet. That's a pretty good deal by buying that company. I like that smile on your face. I know you're liking this. Coca-Cola is a huge buyer of Lexmark. They saved $4.5 million in just 2 years from staying with Lexmark. Once again, that's huge savings. If Coke is a huge buyer of Lexmark, and so is Anheuser-Busch. They took Lexmark all the way into Europe. They love that. Lexmark is also #1 in Brazil. I think that's awesome too, because Brazil is a brick nation. It's growing. There's huge growth expected in Brazil. Pretty cool stuff. That if we get into this company, if you get into this company, sir, you'd be a very rich man. But there is a downside to this company is that they are losing revenue for the past like 4 or 5 years. That's because the inkjet industry was just tanking. It was not doing well. So Paul Rook made a great call. He said, let's get out of inkjet. So right now they're suffering some losses because inkjet was such a huge part of their revenue. They're suffering some losses, but I do expect that to turn around by 2015. That's what gives it a 54% upside. Let me talk to you about some potential lawsuits. These lawsuits could total up to $1 billion worth of loss for Lexmark, and that would be tremendously huge. That would take its fair value of 54% all the way down to 7%. That's still an upside, still a company worth buying, but not the same upside. Lexmark does not expect to lose $1 billion worth of static control components, but they do expect to lose 22.4 against Molina. Molina was about their vacation care policy, and static control was about their microchips that they place inside their ink cartridges to make sure that they can't be refilled. So, I mean, yeah, it's got some downside here by potential lawsuits, but at the same time, I still see huge upside in this company. It's got some big competitors. Xerox, Canon, Konica. Konica is not so much a competitor. I thought it was a competitor because they do inkjet, and you know, they've been getting their butt kicked lately, so they don't really matter. That just shows the getting on an inkjet segment was awesome. Xerox is the perceptive software type of competitor for Lexmark, so I think fantastic idea. They're doing great right now. Xerox is just expanding, and fantastic revenues, everything. They're probably the toughest competitor, but Lexmark with their acquisitions actually becomes a little better than Xerox. So huge upside for this company. Canon is their main competitor in laser and monochrome printers, and I don't think that Lexmark can expect to overtake Canon's market share like it can with Xerox. Like I said before, this company has 54% upside, and it's a total buy.
Okay.